أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد كما صليت على سيدنا إبراهيم وعلى آل سيدنا إبراهيم، وبارك على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد كما باركت على سيدنا إبراهيم وعلى آل سيدنا إبراهيم في العالمين إنك حميد مجيد. By the barakah of Sidi Shaykh Muhammad Faouzi Karkari قدس الله سره. Notes from a مذاكرة from March 2023. Before starting this video, I would like to state that this work would never have seen the light without Sidi Shaykh. If something is wrong, it will be from myself, and everything that is correct is from Sidi Shaykh. So disciple had a vision in Khulwa where he saw a rose, and at its end it emitted a purple light. Sidi Shaykh said that Allah included everything in the Quran, but the result or meaning of each verse remains like a secret. The disciple should read attentively and comprehend the verse until he grasps the hidden meaning. Otherwise, he is described by the verse like a donkey which carries huge tomes. Sidi Shaykh added that it's like a mathematical equation. If a person doesn't understand it, he will never get the correct result. If the disciple is accustomed to getting the answer from the Shaykh without understanding, he will never learn because he never tasted and experienced this reality. Sidi Shaykh also talked about verses 37 through 39 of Surah Ar-Rahman. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. فإذا انشقت السماء فكانت وردة كالدهان فبأي آلاء ربكما تكذبان فيومئذ لا يسأل عن ذنبه إنس ولا جان. When the sky splits apart and it becomes a rose like paint, so which of your Lord's marvels will you deny? On that day no human and no jinn will be asked about his sin. Sidi Shaykh explained that the rose is not a physical object that will split apart in two parts. In fact, that means that the heaven will split and manifest its reality and what is hidden behind it. When the heaven becomes a rose for the person who is at that moment near this heaven, he will not be asked about his sins. In this situation, Allah has manifested on him with the name Al-Ghafur, the forgiving. This person will not be asked about his sins from the past and the future, because the time has stopped for him. Sidi Shaykh added that as soon as a person reaches the splitting of the first heaven, he stops time and space for himself, because time and space must inevitably produce either good or bad rewards, hasana or sayya. He becomes, at that moment, non-existent. Sidi Shaykh said about the purple light emitted by the rose that filled all the space, that at a certain level, everything disappears for the disciple, including the rose, the heaven, and all the station that he passed by. The purple light represents the name of Al-Wali. So when everything disappeared, only the light of the divine names remained. The name that combines all the names is the name of Al-Jalala, Allah, which means that only the light of Allah remained. Sidi Shaykh added that the disciple should work on the signs that he receives from Allah. If he really intends to be a murid, he needs to work on the signs he receives, as well as the signs received by his brothers in the path of Allah. If he doesn't work on that, he is not considered a murid. He is just pretending. The signs and messages are not just to talk about every now and then, but to work on them. For example, if someone receives a message from his father or his wife saying, I want you to come to me right now, the goal is just not to read the message, but to apply it. It's the same for the disciple with the messages he receives from Allah. Sidi Shaykh added that this is also the case with the Quran. People read it and complete it every month, but they don't apply any of it. Some may do more effort and learn it, but have they applied any of it? The response is no. Sidi Shaykh added that everyone in this world has the motivation to search for the truth, al-haqiq, within himself. At least once in his life, he may have asked himself, who am I? Why do I exist? And what is my role in this life? This is the natural disposition of all human beings, not only Muslims. Everyone wants to know the truth. It's just the level of motivation, himma, that differs from one person to another. Some people are immersed in their assertions and forget about the truth, while others are occasionally motivated by Allah to seek the truth. Sidi Shaykh said that every person has opportunities in his life to know the truth, and he must take advantage of them, or else he will miss out. Sidi Shaykh used the example of the disciple who asked the question and said that before he converting to Islam and before joining the tariqah, he searched and asked for the truth, and through what Sidi Shaykh called khuyut al-qudra, he met the wali and then entered to khulwa. Sidi Shaykh talked about khalwa in the next part of the mudhakara. He explained that the khalwa is so named because the person who enters it abandons all vices and adopts the attributes of Allah. It's a gateway for the person to completely detach from his past and from the physical world, and to approach death, the small death, al-maut al-asghar, when entering the presence of Allah. Even if paradise were offered to him, he would refuse it, because he seeks only the truth. Thus, if the disciple truly desired to know the truth in the past, Allah responded to him by showing him the way through the Shaykh. The Shaykh is the Khalwa, and the Khalwa is the Shaykh. As Sayyidina Ali alayhi salam said, I'm the dot, meaning that there is no separation between the Shaykh and the Khalwa. In the Khalwa, nothing is accepted beside the name of Al-Jalala Allah. Sidi Shaykh said that prayer is the pillar of religion, which is why the Shaykh orders disciples to do it. However, fasting in Khulwa, for example, is not like fasting on other days. It's fasting on everything besides Allah. Even the Shaykh that the disciple follows in acts, sayings, and everything he does, left and said to him to say only Allah. Sidi Shaykh added that even directions are removed. The disciple is in the center of the piece, with nothing on his right, left, in front of him, or behind him. The only direction that remains is beneath him, which is also removed during dhikr. All of what the disciple used in the past to reach Allah, like nawafil, etc., is removed. All of this is to tell the disciple that he has only one gate to reach, which is the gate to Allah. Sidi Shaykh added that secrets and the truth are reached in that way. Even if the Shaykh removes his clothes and gives them to the disciple or gives him a part of his body, the disciple won't reach the truth. The suluk, the path, is not an obligation or with force, but with love and extension in the Shaykh. For example, when Sayyidina Ibrahim alayhi salam was ordered to sacrifice his son, Sayyidina Ismail alayhi salam, he didn't do so with force, but Sayyidina Ismail agreed with love. Sidi Shaykh said that every message sent by Allah to the disciple in Khulwa is sent to tell him just one thing: my slave, so and so, is my wali. The disciple who doesn't understand a vision in Khalwa, the reason is that he eliminated the wali who entered him to Khalwa. Sidi Shaykh said that also the disciple should have a lot of ta'zeem to the Shaykh, because without him the disciple won't have any vision or knowledge, even if he stays in Khulwa for 10 years. So that was all for this video. Alhamdulillah الذي هدانا لهذا وما كنا لنهتدي لولا أن هدانا الله. لقد جاءت رسل ربنا بالحق. اللهم لك الحمد، اللهم لك الحمد، اللهم لك الحمد. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد كما صليت على سيدنا إبراهيم وعلى آل سيدنا إبراهيم، وبارك على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد كما باركت على سيدنا إبراهيم وعلى آل سيدنا إبراهيم في العالمين إنك حميد مجيد. سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون، وسلام على المرسلين، والحمد لله رب العالمين.